Looks like I'm coming out to a viewing point again. Hey everyone, good morning. Today I'm just here in Taiwan on the north part of the island next to the water, and I am visiting the small cliffside town of Jiufen. This is also a really popular tourist destination because of these amazing views. So there are lots of places to shop and eat up here, as well as just explore and do some hiking. The first thing that comes to my mind when visiting Taiwan is not its massive city of Taipei, but its beautiful rugged green mountains and endless coastlines with small charming villages scattered throughout the hills. Let's wander together through the nostalgic streets of Jiufen, visit the scenic Ruifang, and uncover the hidden cat village of Houtong in an old mining area. You can see all these mountains descending into the water there. Lots of temples on the hills, and yeah, it's just so gorgeous. And I picked the perfect day to be out here. Just in this small back alley here, there's lots of shops. Most of them actually aren't even open yet. And there are lanterns above. I can imagine this is kind of a touristy street here, kind of alleyway, very narrow. I'm here in the morning though, so it's probably busier in the evening. Oh yeah, this is definitely a tourist alley. Lots of cafes and shops, and it kind of splits off in two directions, so I'm not quite sure which way to go. Of course, Taiwan is famous for tea, so I'm seeing a lot of tea shops back here. Oh, little arcade for kids. It seems really hard to imagine, but there are actually motorbikes coming through here. And this is a tight enough space for people, especially if it's crowded. I think I'm officially lost. I mean, not really, because I do have Google Maps on my phone, and I can just check to see where I go, but there are so many windy turns through here and places where it splits up into different alleyways. It's kind of hard to keep track after a while. But there's tons of restaurants, and they're just opening up now. A lot of the cafes and restaurants here have views right into the water, looking over these cliff sides, which is really cool. So if you decide to eat or stop somewhere, you can just relax with a view. So it's funny, this is a spot that I've been meaning to come to for years. I mean, this is my 5th trip to the city of Taipei in Taiwan, and I just was never able to do it. So finally, this time, I said, I've got to come over here and see this place because everybody keeps telling me how amazing it is, and I love this kind of stuff. You know, I live for natural beauty and getting out into nature and seeing the countryside wherever I go. I think I've kind of left the more touristy part of the town here, even though the whole thing is designed for tourism, and that's their industry here. I feel like I've left those little alleyways behind me, and I'm getting more into like the residential part of the town. which is really interesting to see too. This whole town seems to be built on little narrow alleyways with stairs going up or down on either side of you. So as soon as I see something that looks kind of interesting, I just follow that around. Although now I'm seeing a lot of people hanging their clothes, so this is probably a little too residential, and I don't want to bother anyone. Some of these areas like this one just looks like it drops off a cliff, and then you see a staircase that takes you all the way back down to that part of the street there. You are definitely going to get your steps in and a workout at that by taking all these staircases up and down along here. Well, I've been going down for a bit. I think I'm going to go back up the hill, back to kind of where I started, because this is definitely residential. And as cool as this is just to meander through here, I could do this all day, and I really don't have that kind of time, unfortunately. But I'll have to come back here for sure. All right, now things are really going on because I have people coming out of their shops asking me to come in. That's when you know they're all ready to go with lots and lots of people. And yeah, this is quite a bit busier. In fact, there's a line for this one restaurant. I have no idea what they sell, but it must be good. If I had more time here, I would just make a walking video through these narrow streets because there is so much going on between the sellers and the tourists. It'd be great for people watching. Wow. I don't know what this place is, but I love the colorful way that they've designed the outside of the shop. So if you're a fan of Japanese animation and you like Miyazaki, a lot of people compare this tea house with a building that's seen in Spirited Away, which is one of his more popular animations. So this is actually one of the most famous tea houses here in this village that people come and check out because it kind of has all these lanterns on it and it overlooks the water right there. It's just really pretty, and especially getting your photo here. I almost feel bad for the shopkeepers here because they're kind of calling out to people to come in and get coffee or tea, but of course they're only looking at this one building for photos mostly. Ah, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
This right position.
Ah, okay, thank you. Great, thank you.
Great.
Yeah, some of the people working here are so friendly. They were actually telling me where to stand for my photos when I was getting my selfies. But this area is really photogenic. Well, I've decided to be a little bit more adventurous today, so I'm going to jump on the bus from here and just see where it takes me. So the drop-off points for these buses is not quite what I expected. They just kind of laid me out here in the middle of nowhere, but it's totally gorgeous. I guess the buses just kind of stop along the way. There aren't really bus stops, but people flag them down because this road just kind of winds along the coast here. And it is just, it's so pretty though. I don't even mind being kind of out here with no one and it being so quiet and being in a strange place. I think I'm just going to walk around and explore. Something that I think is really fascinating to see is all these little tiny homes that were built on these hills and mountains. They just kind of dot it everywhere. I'm not sure if I'd want to live up there because it does seem very, very remote. But if this is like a place that you love, if you love this climate, it is quite hot. It's very tropical. But yeah, this is just, I can't even describe how gorgeous this area is. And it's so, so quiet. No tourists whatsoever. Not like Jiufen, which I was just at. That's the area where everybody tends to go. They don't come out here as much. But I think there are quite a few trails here too, where you can hike up these mountains and hills that you can see. It's really hard though to walk uphill when it's this hot. So we'll see how far I make it before I decide, you know what, I should save my energy for something else. Like relaxing with a cup of tea or coffee. Well, I found a parking lot up here with a temple on top of this part of the hill. And the views just keep getting better and better as I keep climbing. I think the rest of the way looks like a staircase going into the jungle, so. One thing that's really been surprising, but in a good way, has been the amount of public restrooms there are out here. I mean, it really feels like you're in the middle of the woods, but yet there are all these little facilities. I thought for a minute those were steps, and they are, but there's so much vegetation grown over them. I don't think anybody's hiking up that hill in a long time. But they have another one over here that's a little bit more open. I'm not sure if these trails are actually being used very much. I think Google Maps is playing a trick on me, trying to get me lost in the woods. After some very careful deliberation, I've decided to give up on trying to find this geopark. You know, maybe I'll do that again if I come here and it's a little bit cooler or I have someone to go with. But honestly, it looks like I'm just walking into the jungle and I do not even speak the language here. So I think that's probably a bad idea for me today. But I do have some other spots to check out, and I'm going to do that right now. I think I have to get back on the bus and take it around. This is like, you know, a roller coaster going down these windy roads. It's kind of fun though. Wish I had a seatbelt. So I'm now just in another village. I think this is a little bit bigger, and this one's called Ruifang. And there is a train that takes you here from the city of Taipei. I think it takes probably between 45 minutes and an hour. It's not too bad, but this is where you kind of start when you do all the outdoorsy stuff. Kind of cool to see this place. I've never actually stopped here before. I've come through on the train, but my first time to actually get off and just take a look. I really like this blue bridge here that I've crossed over. Kind of cool looking. Definitely a landmark in this area. At the moment, I'm just trying to make my way back to the train station. So I think it's a few blocks ahead of me. Something I'm seeing a lot more of here in the countryside in Taiwan is a lot more scooters and people on these smaller bikes. You do see them in the big cities, but I feel like that's how at least 60%, 70% of everyone driving around is on a bike. This is one feature of Taiwanese architecture that I like, is that all the streets are basically covered by roofs over top of all the sidewalks for pedestrians, so you don't really need to worry about the sun too much. Now, the train's pretty busy today, but it should be taking me where I want to go. Oh, I made it here. And it still looks pretty much the same. So the thing that's really put this small area on the map, called Houtong, is the fact that they have lots and lots of cats out here. And it's kind of in the countryside. So if you love felines, this is a really cool spot to come and check out. Before this area was known for its friendly felines, this was actually a coal town. This was a place where they did a lot of mining. So you see all this old equipment here and rusted out buildings, as well as some tunnels up ahead that lead into the mines themselves. I think you can take tours. I've never done it, but I just kind of enjoy the scenery here. It kind of reminds me in the US of maybe like West Virginia. It's very green and quite industrial in this kind of valley that we're in right here. But the views are spectacular. As you can see, you've got this river and you've got bridges that cross over it and just mountains all around us. They have the original old tracks here for the cars that used to carry, I guess, coal out of these mines. And they've made it kind of into a tourist attraction where you can get on the little cars and they take you into the mine. That is one ride I'm happy not to get on, especially with my anxiety and claustrophobia. Oh, I would not survive in there. So the sky is turning a little bit darker and I'm feeling a few drops. May start raining in a minute. It's kind of funny because last time I was here, I was drenched trying to walk around this area because it was raining so hard. Hello. The last time I was here, this building was just a pile of rubble that had been kind of deteriorating and nobody had been keeping it up because it was the old, whatever you want to call it, workhouse for all the mining stuff. And now they've actually redone it and made it a living museum so you can see what it looked like. Oh, I know what this machine is. That's a typewriter. I had one of those growing up. Calculator. This is a hand cranking calculator. Ooh, I see one that maybe you don't know. What is this? I think they're actually calling this piece of machinery right here, this massive conveyor belt, the crusher. Just makes it seem very ominous. I'm sure there are other mine and coal museums all around the world, including quite a few in the US, but I've never been to one, so this is all very new and interesting to me. And I'm glad they did this, because as I said before, when I came here last time, this wasn't here. It was just an abandoned kind of pile of rubbish and rubble on the ground, like all heavy metal and machinery just kind of laying around. there wasn't even a structure actually, so they had to build this building around everything and then curate it all. I just saw this staircase that's taking me down to the water's edge here, so I couldn't help it. I had to come down and get right over by it. It appears I'm getting kind of lucky today because the sun is trying to come back out again, even with these dark clouds. All right, enough of all that mine stuff and coal production. You really just wanted me to show you where the cats are. So I'm just gonna have to cross over a bridge over top of the railroad tracks, and that's where they have all these little buildings on the mountainside with cats. I actually got a picture with this one a couple of years back, maybe like 5 years ago. It's been a while. Hope you've been well. Once you get over to this side, you can go left or right, and then as you go up these little trails here, there are restaurants and cafes, and then just cats lounging around everywhere. So it's kind of like an Easter egg hunt. You have to look for them, and hopefully they're in a good mood, so they'll take a photo with you. They have some really fun murals as well when you're walking through here. I think this will be my last adventure for today because I'm just sweating too much. Oh, and here you've got a shop just full of all kitty cat statues. And this one's a little cat shrine. Oh, they're selling waffles here. They're in the shape of a cat's paw. So cute, and I bet really delicious. Cat corridor this way. Definitely where I need to be going. Well, this is a really nice promenade up here with lots of little shops. Hello. I think I've seen quite a few cats this time, so I'm pretty happy about that. It's just so hot, and I understand they're so tired, so I'm trying not to bother them really. And here we are back in the jungle. It's really interesting though, these trails go all through the woods. So as adventuresome as I am, I feel like I can only go so far just on my own. But I can always come back here, and it looks so interesting. It's really like the jungle's overtaken some of these buildings. Oh, it feels so good to sit down. It's been a long day, and it's not even over. I think it's only about 4 p.m., but the sun will set around 6. And I've been running around out here in the wilds of Taiwan since 8 a.m. But it's been a lot of fun, and I have to say, if you come here, you should definitely escape the city. Don't just stay in Taipei the whole trip. You could easily do that. There are a lot of really cool things to see there. But this island has so much amazing nature, mountains, streams, rivers, valleys. So definitely take the train out. Doesn't take that long. And at least come up here to the north side of the island, just about 30 minutes to an hour north of Taipei, and check out the coastline. It is totally worth it. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. Hopefully you'll see me traveling around Asia some more. Check out more of my videos that I've done here so you can get ideas for your own trips. Stay safe, healthy, and happy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Thanks for joining me today. Life's a journey meant to be shared. Remember to always travel with an open heart and an open mind. Enjoy the ride and keep your eyes on the horizon for the next adventure. I'll see you out there.